every day of the week. When the world comes together, united as one, sharing stories through the eyes of InView TV. Through the eyes of, through the eyes of, through the eyes of InView TV.
Hello, welcome to Down the Track on InView TV. My name is Bruce Mott. Welcome to the show today. Another great show lined up for you. Very excited. We've got two shows coming up today. One very shortly with a top fuel bike Harley rider, and then we've got a top door slammer driver later today. So the first show, Adam Layton. He's been around the sport for a little while now. He's a guy that loves to promote the sport any way he can. But he comes from a varied background. He's been involved in motocross, he's been involved in speedway on four wheels, I believe, and then he's got into drag racing, and he's got in a big way. He's gone straight to the top when it comes to bikes, and he's gone to the top bike category with a nitro-fueled Harley Davidson. So let's bring Adam onto the show and see what makes him tick.
On the panel shows Down the Track program today, we've come out to Western Sydney to visit APL Performance Bikes. Now this is two-wheel horsepower heaven. We've got custom bikes. We've got a workshop down here that does incredible stuff on the street bikes. Performance area, man, this is a climate controlled dyno. That's where you maximise your horsepower. But what it's about today, top fuel bike. We're talking Adam Layton's Gulf Western Oils Yuasa Batteries V-Twin. Today we're going to find out all about the bike and all about Adam Layton.
Adam Layton, welcome to the show. Welcome to Down the Track on InView TV. How are you?
It's good to be here, Bruce. Thanks very much for having me, and what an intro there. Who is that guy in that workshop? Looks clean.
I came into your workshop, as you know, and we did that episode there, and look, you can eat your dinner off the floor. Certainly was clean, and I'm sure it still is.
Yeah, no, it is, and we've been very busy with the COVID virus. Businesses increased probably 30–40%, so very happy, and it's made for trying to find some time on the fuel bike because they take a lot of time as well, so it's been a bit harder to get to the fuel bike, but a lot's gone on.
Look, you're not the first person I heard say that during COVID their business has gone along okay, and certainly in the motorsport industry, and whether it's bikes or cars, it seems to be people have decided, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, so I'm going to get my car and I'm going to get my bike done up or fixed or whatever the case may be. So good to hear that you've got that situation happening as well. But,
yes, very fortunate.
Before we get into the bike and the racing, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you've been in motocross, you've been in speedway on four wheels, I believe. So tell the viewers a little bit about your background.
Yeah, you know, always riding motocross and supercross as a kid, and growing up with friends, and you know, doing the normal things. Been living out here in the Hawkesbury, water skiing and motocrossing. You know, motocross in the morning, skiing the lunch, and back on the motocross bikes in the afternoon. So that was my life all through school. You know, and then went into working on race teams, you know, like in a big way overseas, and big race teams, and then had a itch to get back or get into speedway. You know, when your dad takes you to speedway, Parramatta Speedway, and you just go, oh, one day I got to do that, and drive a sprint car or a speed car, you know. So that was a turning point just then to do that, and top fuel bike. You know, you only have to watch one of them Nitro Harleys going in the late mid-90s for me, and I just gone, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could ever do that. So, but here I am.
And what's been one of the biggest challenges going from what you were doing in various different sports to straight into a top fuel Harley? I mean, first time with Nitro, and everybody says Nitro means it's just a whole new game, different ball game altogether once you're using that stuff. So what's been the biggest challenge all up?
The thing I like about it most with drag racing, it's mostly not competitor influenced your result, except for a bit of mental stress on the line, whereas speedway, you know, a couple bad turns or you can wreck a car and the night's over and you were moving along quite nicely, you know, and drag racing's not influenced so much by the competitor once the light goes or the flag drops. So I like that bit, and I like the bit, sometimes frustrating, but it really is my makeup, inventing or designing parts for top fuel bike to better my bike and the longevity and get low times. And then you start putting pressure on yourself when you start looking at world results and you're talking to the best riders in the world, and you're suddenly competing against the world because of social media, and that's so active, and you can see a result live, you know, and you go, oh, I've got to be there and I've got to do that time, you know. So that's a big pressure. I've sometimes struggled with it, and you know, but I'm really enjoying it, really, a real lot.
And you mentioned that you're like inventive. You like to do things a little bit differently. Your bike's a little bit different to some others. I mean, the most notable thing, at least from a layman's terms, is your pipes at the side. You don't have them coming down under your legs and out the back like most Harleys. So what was the thought process around those pipes, for instance?
I'd slipped my pipes were 2-1, and then same thing again. Some of the old technology that Harley riders in the US were using were like street related, but when you start learning about Nitro, it's, you know, they have this formula of 2-inch out the header, 2 1/4 in the mid pipe, go out to 3.5 out the tailpipe, and they're all got to be 54 inches long, the mufflers. And you soon start learning about Nitro, and the gas is subsonic. It's a subsonic boom. You're dealing with a fuel that's, you know, 4 times more explosive than TNT. And then I started thinking, you know, my foot's slipping off, my bike's turning, I've got excess weight, I don't need a 2-1 on the bike, I'm just going for it. I did see a bike in the US running like that, and that was Jason Pridemore's, and you know, I just went straight into it, and I just bolted them pipes on, made them up in an hour or two, and straight away the bike's instantly idling better. It didn't feel like it wanted to blow the pipes off, and I just gone, oh, what the hell, this is great, you know. And is it going to flatten out on the top end? No, it went harder. So yeah, I was very excited when I come across that design, you know, or put it in Australia, used it.
It's good for the fans too, because seeing the flames come out either side is always exciting to see.
They do, and it's good for tuning it. You can see a cylinder favouring or dropping off, and that's important on Nitro. The flame gives a lot of input, what's going on, how the motor's burning, and when you can see 2 of them each side, you know what's going on. And Harleys have a lot of problems dealing with long timing on one cylinder, where the rear cylinder or front cylinder shares 70% of the load. So not Nitro being load sensitive, obviously the front cylinder burns better, and then the rear's having issues. So in our new fuel system and ignition system, there again, first of tried in the world, you know, it's individualizing the cylinders, and I'm treating them as separate and running them different, which no one's done before with mechanical fuel injection. So we're not using fuel injection, we're using mechanical fuel injection, but developed a way of controlling it and delivering it, and doing things that people never thought would have even gone on a nitro Harley, you know.
So yeah, those flames, when you mentioned about you can see what the cylinders are doing, hadn't thought about that, but of course top fuel cars, the crew chiefs and all that look at the cylinders all the time to see what's burning, what's not. And so you're right, now you can see which cylinder is burning and which one's not, because there's a pipe each side. So you're also experimenting or doing something different with a fuel injection, you said?
Yeah, I've been...
Have you had a chance to put that on the track? Because we know you've had the pipes for some time. Have you been running the new fuel injection as yet?
Yeah, I've been running it for the last 2 shows, and I had a massive learning curve and copped a real beating. You know, socially, you know, I put myself out there, and I was using the racing as a bit of a test ground, and I shouldn't have done that, but it was just the way things work, time and money. But I had the bike set there just before COVID. Well, COVID was on, but we were ready to go at Sydney, and a rain date there, and Peter Beaumont was excited, and you know, we were just, yeah, it was looking good to start getting into some passes. And to be honest, I've been nervous pulling the throttle on it with the new fuel system and what I'm doing. There's things on that bike that have just never been put on a bike or even thought of in the world. And now a couple of my friends in the US, and you know, seeing what my data and seeing what's going on, and just going, hell, I can't believe you're doing this with this fuel system. So very excited. And to push into the 630s and 40s is good work for most Harley riders with good bikes and injected, but I wasn't focused on that. There we go again, I'm putting pressure on myself. I'm focusing on zeros, and you know, and that's what I do. I'm not going to focus on 0.25, 620, you know, I'm just going to go. They're doing zeros now with a friend I'm working with, and so the Harleys have gone into the zeros, normally aspirated.
Oh, they
and
have.
I really,
okay. Right.
yeah. So one, you know, a friend of mine, Bob Malloy, so who we work together closely, and yeah, we talk every day, every night, just about, you know, on everything. So yeah, really enjoying that side of it too, working with him.
So when are you planning to get out on the track? 400 Thunder has announced 3 events coming up, April, May and June. Are you attending those events?
I'm going to do May. So yeah, May and June. I don't think I'll be doing April. I'll probably stay in Sydney and do the right thing, get some testing done with the new data, and then or new data logging. Got away from race pack and stuff like that, and just wanted to get more accurate with what I'm doing, and you know, and then, you know, mainly, you know, still got to get the sponsors back on board and things like that, and I don't want to muff it up in Willowbank, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, I'm not doing Willowbank as well.
So the bike will be on the track for the first time in May, or what about testing? We got some testing this weekend, for instance. Are you attending there with the bike?
No, I'm not going to test this weekend, but I'll probably in the next 2 weeks ready to go. We just got a new transporter, and thanks to Costy Farms, so we've got a new race transporter, and Kenworth have come on board and give me a new truck. So I really would love to go push it up to Willowbank, and but it won't be yet. So yeah, I'll just get everything right, and yeah, not do any testing in Willowbank. Yeah, no, or at on a race meeting. I don't want to be testing again, and
sure.
all the motors are ready, everything's ready. So we'll do that, and
hopefully we'll see you on the track shortly, testing the bike prior to May. Seen on Facebook, there's a mention, a rumour, a discussion, whatever you want to call it, that perhaps you might have a dip back in Speedway. What's that all about?
Yeah, I was a part of Lincoln Speedway with drag racing, and there was a bit of, seemed to be negative stuff going on a couple of years ago, and racing sprint cars and the good people I met in sprint car or speed car, I was able to try and help the right people connect in speedway and drag racing, and get the Sydney Speedway, on the right foot and keep it moving, because it was inevitable it's going to happen. And look, I still go to the Speedway, and I'm in talks at the moment. I'm probably not going to drive a sprint car. I might do a couple drives, but I won't own the sprint car. I definitely interested in getting back into a midget or a speed car. So I'm looking at some nice cars now. I really want to get on that new track when there's a wall, where Parramatta didn't have a wall. And midget racing is, I've done both sprint car and midget, and I'm hoping I'm still good on the midget, because they're just wildest machines I've ever driven, those little midget speed cars. So yeah, hope to be back doing that, but it won't, I don't want it to interfere with Top Fuel. I've got a goal, and that's something to achieve, and like I said, put pressure on myself, and people can call me out, but I want to do something real special with this bike and this Harley's. I've got something to prove on it, and I know I've got the gear and the workshop to back it and do this job,
Very good. Adam, before we let you go, given that you know a bit about Speedway, so you've got the foot in both camps, what do you think about the new, the relocation of the Speedway, Valvoline Speedway, to Sydney Dragway? I saw an email that came out recently from the Sydney board, giving an update of where that plans and approval and construction is. I found the email to be very informative, and what I could see, Sydney Dragway got a bit of a good deal out of this. They seem to have got a number of things they were hoping for, and to me, I just think it's a plus that to have a world-class venue right next to Sydney Dragway, and then right next to Eastern Creek. I think it's all good. But what's your thoughts on the Sydney Speedway moving out to Sydney Dragway area?
It's an absolute gift, and we're going to have the best speedway in the world, no questions. And Speedway's got a really good young crowd, and there's already talk of cross-pollinating, or the word crossing over, so people are going to run two things. So it can only come as a positive. I think drag racing will benefit me when I'm in the crowd and people come up to me in the crowd in the pits at Sydney. There's a lot of speedway people there, and I really think the crowds, speedway and drag racing, are very close. And you go to speedway and you see a lot of drag racing fans there. I don't want to say anything about V8s, but when I go to the V8s, I don't see those crowds there. So, and Speedway's got a really good young crowd. The thing I loved about Speedway was, it was more international than drag racing is, exception of like maybe a couple Top Fuel car drivers coming out. But I'd pinch myself, I'd be bumping wheels with Tony Stewart or Casey Kane, and I remember having a little battle with Tony Stewart, and we bumped a few times, and he come over to me, and I've gone, oh, here goes Tony, and he just gone, hell man, that was awesome. And I've just gone, what, like, I missed that. I wish Top Fuel had that, a bit of international, just not there. But Speedway, it's very easy to build a car, build it out of a book, put a staunch engine in it, and bring a driver over and chuck his seat in, and then they're off, you know. So I really enjoyed that. So we're going to have some, hopefully they can work it out, the management of Sydney Dragway and Sydney Speedway. I've got a favourite for who I hope that gets to run the tender there for 8 years at Sydney Speedway.
Oh, okay.
Because he's just, yeah, he's so positive. If this guy gets it, and I know you're listening, go for it, mate, and you're the man. And so, yeah, I'm very heavily involved in that way. And motorcycle speedway, they've got world events coming there. You've got world events going there for speedway car, world events for speedway midgets or speed cars. It's just, you know, we need that in Australia, and it's just going to be amazing. I'm so excited. That's why I want to run a speed car. My family want me to get back in the speedway again. My son wants to see me skid around. I hope I can do it. I'm 46 now, and
I think it's fair to say that the sports can coexist. And I think you could be an example of where the drivers can coexist across both sports as well. Adam, thanks for joining us today. Really look forward to seeing you out on the bike again soon. You're out to Sydney Dragway tonight. That's why we got the special time at 2 o'clock today. You're out for bike night tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, bike night's on, and you know, I've been ramping them up, and you know, we're getting hundreds of bikes, and you know, I'm a big believer in do the racing on the track and not on the streets. So I support that, and yeah, that's good.
All right, thanks, Adam. Good luck tonight. Good luck when you get your Top Fuel Harley bike on the track again, and we look forward to seeing you out there and seeing you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us, Bruce. Bye.
So that was Adam Layton, Top Fuel Harley bike rider. I like Adam. He loves to promote the sport. He's got all sorts of ideas to do things a little bit different on the track with his bike and off the track. As we saw today, he's not about just doing something quickly, getting a win, and then that's it, and then he's disappeared. He's here for the long term. He's got goals. 6 O's, he said, is his goals, and I'm sure he's going to keep striving until he gets there. Thanks for joining us on Down the Track today. Our next show, which actually in about 4 hours' time, we've got 2 shows today, and we've got John Zapier joining us live from Perth, fresh off his win at the Western Nationals. Thanks for joining us. Thanks again, Adam, and we'll see you soon.
It's all about